Hey, it's Dr. Rod Miller here with cashbasedphysiotherapy.org, and this is step 5. And we're going to talk about equipment, leasing a room, and keeping your overhead low. And the main point is, if you don't want to listen to everything here, just keep your overhead low. Again, you've heard me say I'm not big on taking out business loans, having lots of expenses. If you're going to open up a cash-based clinic, you're actually a proof of concept business for the first 1 to 3 years until you generate profit and are fully booked. So you're a proof of concept business. Don't put yourself in debt. We have enough student loan debt. So let's talk about the equipment and leasing a room. So leasing a room, again, you keep your overhead low. I recommend starting out with just, leasing one treatment room out with a treatment table, keeping your expenses down. You can work on internet / some utilities and stuff like that with whoever's leasing the space. Keep your overhead low and start out in one treatment room, whether it's in a building, whether it's a physician, whether it's another PT, whether it's across a gym, anything. That's how I recommend starting out. Just make sure it meets the regulations and your rent is low. When you're signing a lease, I recommend do not sign a lease longer than 1 year, because if you do grow, you're going to have to grow out of that place. So I recommend sign a minimum 1 year lease. Don't put yourself or don't set yourself up for failure or a contract where you have to stay there for 2 or 3 years, because if you do follow my blueprint, you should be able to generate over $10,000 a monthly revenue after the first year per month. So if you do it good, you should be able to expedite your results, and in a year or two out, you should be able to move out of that one treatment room kind of approach and move on to bigger and better things. So make sure the overhead's low. Make sure that you're leasing out one room, and then make sure it's only a year contract, or better yet, a month-to-month contract. That's even better. But I would not give away percentages of revenue to cover the lease. I would recommend just a fixed rate, month-to-month, or a year lease with that as a minimum for that. So if you have questions about that, if you want to run anything by me, just put a comment in the comment box below. So the next thing is going to be equipment. What equipment do you need to get started with? And again, same principle, keep your overhead low. I think if you look at my story, I go over what I started with. And I also wrote a blog. In my blog, I wrote the top 5 most cost-effective equipment purchases that I made as a cash-based physiotherapy practice, and it goes into my top 5 things. So anyway, what equipment do you need to start when opening up your cash-based clinic? Again, keep things simple. Don't build up credit card debt. Don't take out loans for expensive equipment, because really in a cash-based clinic, all you need is your hands, your critical thinking and problem-solving skills, and a treatment table. So things that I started out with, definitely I had a treatment table. I bought mine off of Amazon. It was a super cheap table to start off with, $100 to $300. I actually had an iPad that I used, and I've streamed music through there, and I had some anatomy apps, and my payment system went through my iPad. I ran Pursuit through a cell phone, and there's multiple different ways of doing this. There's great technology out nowadays with Vinicial, which is a HIPAA compliant secure texting app that you can use to communicate with patients. That's a great thing that you can do if you're going to use a cell phone, because if you are going to text or use internet and email, you have to be HIPAA compliant, and that's a whole nother lecture. But there are other sources of what you can do besides Vinicial. Vinicial is a great one, and it's owned by a physiotherapist also, so you're supporting our profession and another small business. So there's other things with like Kaspersky Internet Security that they can link it up to your phone so it protects everything, secure and encrypt texting and emails and stuff like that, and patient's info. So anyway, I ran it through a phone because I love it too, that I can just take my phone, shoot a video, and upload it to the social media things also. So it makes it very, very convenient, and you can keep everything business-wise on the business phone, and then you can have your personal cell phone. I did have an iPad already, so I used that and downloaded some apps for this. It made it kind of convenient. And again, a lot of my equipment was an IKEA table. I had some, you can go and get cheap workout equipment if you need some, like a kettlebell at Play It Again Sports. You can go to Marshall's and get some step ups and some hand weights. Keep things simple at first. You don't need a lot of that stuff. So keep your overhead low. I'm trying to think some other things, some decorations. You can go to Marshall's, TJ Maxx again, and buy some stuff to decorate your clinic. And again, you're just starting out in one room. So you got to keep your overhead low. Some myofascial tools, I recommend the Edge tool. It's cheap, cost effective, and it gets it done, and you don't have to spend thousands of dollars like on other products. But the point is, again, whether you're talking about your lease, your office space, or your equipment, keep your overhead low, start out with the basics, and then start treating patients, generating profit, and reinvesting the profit into some more equipment. Don't take out loans, put yourself in credit card debt, etc. So the main point is keep your overhead low. And if you have any questions, please put it in the comment box below. And thank you very much for your time. And we're on to step 6. Thanks.